Well, hello, my fellow gamers. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day wherever you guys are in this amazing world. If you're new to my channel, hi, I am Creative Katesy, aka Katesy, and welcome. Guys, I am so excited because we are actually going to be touring my island that I have just recently finished, and this is called Esperanza. So, just to kind of give you an idea here of what this island is going to be like, I actually was inspired when I saw some people create some areas that had penguins, and it made me really have a desire to create an island that was Arctic themed. Not tundra, but Arctic. And with that, I started to do some research of some places and came up on this base that was in Antarctica. So my entire island is based off of that actual base, and it, like I said, it's called Esperanza, and I cannot wait to show you guys around. If you guys want to check out my island for yourself, I will have the dream address in the video description below, and I'll also have links to all of my socials, so if you want to check out some pictures or see some other activities that I've been doing on my channel or on my Instagram, you're more than welcome to do that. And if you would want me to come and check out your guys' islands, there will be a link in the description below for you to submit your island for an island tour. Before we go ahead and start exploring my island and showing you everything that it has to offer, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I am going to go on a little bit of a hiatus when it comes to doing island tours, and that's because of the fact that I am actually going to be resetting my island to start my new theme. My new theme is actually going to be Hobbiton, so I'm basing it upon the Lord of the Rings, the Shire, and I am super excited to be starting this. I'm also looking at starting live streaming that, so if you guys want to join me with that, I would definitely be more than thrilled to have you there. And I believe my first one is actually going to be a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions for me, or you're interested in learning more about me, or where I come up with my ideas, whatever the case may be, feel free to bring your questions and I would be more than happy to answer them. But let's go ahead and start exploring. I know this is why the reason why you guys are here is you want to see what I have been up to on my island. So we're going to start off by exploring the map. So guys, I really take great pride in this map. I know there's a lot of waterscaping, but I am so proud of this. I really wanted to focus on the map itself, the views and everything that this island has to offer. I do use the beaches a little bit, so that way we can get from one point to another point. I didn't want to exclude them, even though it is kind of weird to have beaches in Antarctica, but I didn't want to exclude them this time around, and it also gave me the chance to have more of a, what's the word that I'm looking for? More space and more room to be able to really customize my island the way that I wanted it to be. So with this island, we have Chabwick, Flurry, Raymond, Shep, Flo, Tutu, Fang, Whitney, Mitzi, and Ione. So each of these villagers actually play a role on my island, and I will explain all of those when we go and tour those islands or tour those homes and see for yourself what it is that I have done with these villager homes. So I hope you guys are excited. Again, if you wanted to come and visit my island, the dream address is there below my map. So you guys are more than welcome to start exploring my island. I hope you enjoy the tour that I'm about to show you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy your tour if you guys decide to come and visit my island. So let's start exploring, guys. So just like Antarctica, I wanted to make sure that everywhere I went, we saw like mostly rocky. We don't see really any plant life, and that's really what I was trying to push for this island to have, was just no plant life, all rocky, snow, etc. So that's that's what you will find on this island. And it was really challenging. I'm not going to lie, guys. It was a huge challenge to design an island without plant life. But it was fun too. So when you guys come to visit, you'll have the airport down here, and then just outside of the visitor center here, you will find all these gifts waiting for you guys to pick up. So I hope you have fun with this. I just want to make sure that you guys are prepared for this island because it is so cold here. So just want to make sure. But let's start off by checking out the visitor center. I'm going to go ahead for all of these home tours. I'm going to jump to a time when they're all available. So let's go ahead and do that. Welcome to the Visitor Center of Esperanza. So I wanted to make this kind of a cozy little place for people that have just arrived to get some information about the island and also hear about, like, say, weather reports, or if they're like needing to wait for somebody. So say they're coming here to visit somebody, or they were waiting for the research team to take them out, whatever the case may be. This is the design of this area. Flo manages this little area, or this little visitor center. As you can see, she's got the book to keep record of all those that come in and out. She's got the radio here to let us know what weather reports are coming in. She's also got her little TV for weather reports, as well as her computer to keep log and information. Over here is a little kitchen, so she can have her meals, as well as if anybody is coming to visit, they can make a little quick meal too if they realize that they're going to be staying long. And obviously, because of the fact that we are in a very cold climate, we have our little stove here, or our whatever you want to call this. Oh, hello, Flo. Hello. Our wood-burning stove. There we go. And then, of course, back over there, a sitting area, and then, of course, some magazines to entertain yourself. So, this is our cute little visitor center. Again, had a lot of fun creating this and coming up with this design. It took me a little longer than I thought it would, just because of the fact that I wanted to make it just a little bit different, and because of the fact that as I was building it, what I had envisioned was just slightly bigger, or needed slightly more space than what these traditional homes have size for. So I had to really get creative with this build to make sure that everything could fit in here. But yeah, welcome to the visitor center, guys. All right, so let's continue on, guys. Next to the visitor center, we have our little post office here. I know it's not very full or anything like that, but hey, you know what? Not a lot of packages come to the South Pole just because of the fact that it's so far away. But let's go ahead and check out the inside of this island, or this house as well. So guys, this is our post office on Esperanza. I had a lot of fun creating this. I saw an inspirational picture on Pinterest of an interior created to look like a normal post office, and I took that and I just ran with it. I wanted to give it more of an industrial look though, so that way it didn't necessarily have so the one that I saw on Pinterest was more cozy, more antique-y in a way. I guess that's the word that I'm kind of looking for. This one I wanted it to be more modern. Well, I guess not more modern, but more industrial and a little bit rougher around the edges. This post office is run by Tutu here. As you can see, She's got some downtime, so she's dusting a little bit, keeping it clean, keeping it nice for when people need to come in and ship out packages. Let's go ahead and say hello to her real quick. If I can. Oh, that's right. I'm in camera mode, so I can't talk to her. But yeah, so over here, just to kind of break it down just a little bit more, we have this machine that's sorting out the packages that are going to go outside eventually for the sled dog team to take them and deliver them to people. We have her little office right here where she keeps track of those shipments and where they're going, print out shipping labels, as well as filing those shipment information away. She's also got this little workbench here, so that way if she needs to build something for a shipment, she's able to do that. And then over here is where all of the mailboxes are for the residents of this village. So this is our post office. I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, so I have to actually say that the post office was inspired by not only a picture that I saw on Pinterest, but my friend Matilda. She always has a post office on her island, and I was like, that is a fantastic idea. I need to do a post office. So this one is in honor of her. Now guys, just to give you a word of caution, this ice is pretty thin, so I suggest when you come to visit, be wary of where you step. Wouldn't want you to fall down any caverns. So this next area was actually inspired by my friend Peppy. I toured an island of hers that was a tundra themed island, and it was incredible. If you guys want to check it out, I highly recommend it. I did a video not too long ago of her island, and she had an ice shop on her island. And it made me laugh so hard, and it stuck with me to the point where I was like, you know what? Even though it seems like it would be weird to sell ice in an Arctic location, that doesn't mean that you don't ship ice to other places. So I created this little ice shack and a boat that will actually take the ice to other locations. This is also a place where they shave the ice and provide ice shavings for cooler packages, things like that. So you know when you're packing a bunch of meat, like fish and things like that, this is where they come. They shave that ice down so that way you can pack that that fish or that produce, whatever you need to do with the shaved ice. It's there and available. So shout out to Peppy for this inspirational area. Thank you for giving me the idea. I was struggling with this area, so because of that, she was able to help me fill it in. So this next part over here when we cross the bridge is actually the dog sled farm. So this is run by Shep. He takes care of all of these dogs. We'll come back to his house here in a second, but just wanted to kind of showcase this to you guys. Takes care of all these dogs that go out and make delivery runs or go out into the Arctic area for research or whatever the case may be. So this is all taken care of by him. There's also some down here. Some puppy dogs down here that he takes care of as well. But let's go back to Shep's house real quick and check it out. So guys, welcome to Shep's home. So this one I kind of created as a bachelor pad. He doesn't really live with anybody, so that's why you kind of see a little bit of a mess in here. He's got some food still on the stove over here. He's got food on the table with some magazine stuff underneath, and of course his bed is not made up. So I kind of was envisioning a guy that was just always busy, always doing work, things like that, taking care of the dogs that are outside that deliver mail, that help get people to the various locations on the island and stuff. So he's just constantly on the go, can't really sit still, can't really maintain his home as well as some of the other villagers. And yeah, he's a fun character for sure. And I did have a lot of fun creating his home. I didn't want to like put a lot of things on the walls and stuff because he doesn't really strike me as someone. Well, I do have them decorated, but like I don't see him as being somebody who would just put up a bunch of pictures or anything like that. He has obviously the keys to the various kennels. He has the map up above the workbench, so he knows exactly where he needs to go for his deliveries. And then over here is his bulletin board, so that way he knows. So that way he has like his little notes and stuff of where he needs to go and what he needs to do. But yeah, this is like I said, Shep's home. It was a lot of fun to build and create, and I hope you guys found inspiration from it. It was funny, I did have to travel another day just to come and visit him. He stubbornly did not want to be home when I was doing the initial tour of Esperanza, and I had to travel a couple different days just to see if I could get him home. He's a busy dog. He's a busy guy, so oh my goodness, I'm glad to see he's finally taking a break. So we will continue on with the tour of the island. So let's keep going, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and keep exploring here. So I did create some parts of the island that were a little interactive. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those up for you right now. One of the important things is to utilize your camera view for a lot of different things, and this is one of them. I created these amazing glaciers, there we go, or icebergs, and I got the inspiration off of a YouTuber. Cannot remember their names, I apologize for that, but I just kind of YouTubed icebergs, and this is what I found out. And there was somebody that showed a tutorial on how you can actually create these. And it was just so cool. And so I knew this was something that I needed to apply to my own island. So I hope you guys like this. All right, so getting back to the main area here. Wah! No! There we go. Sometimes it can be tricky. But don't worry, guys. You should not get stuck on my island, I promise. Oh, excuse me. So the next part over here is a little fish mart. I hope you guys enjoy the little fish market here. Just wanted to have this out here, you know, because being in Antarctica, there's not a lot of resources for people. And they can't necessarily grow products or produce or anything like that. It's really difficult to do. So it made sense to create a little fishing dock here. And it's just off of this dock right here. I didn't really want to decorate this too much just because of the fact that we have Captain here. But just wanted to provide this little space to showcase the fact that they actually have a little port for these fish. Continuing this way, we have another viewpoint where you can check out the icebergs. So if you jump across here, this is the other route so you can see where these icebergs are. So again, great place to take pictures if you would like to do that. So this path actually leads us to the ice path. As you can see, we got a sled dog team here that is ready and rearing to go. Probably returning home from a trip out to the research fields. And of course, we could not have Antarctica without the penguins, guys. Again, this code is fantastic. I think it's the cutest thing ever. I had a lot of fun. This was challenging, but I also had a really fun time creating this area just because of the fact that it's got penguins in it. Now, this makes me laugh a little bit because of the fact that every single time I think of penguins, I think of Benedict Cumberbatch trying to pronounce penguins in a documentary. And he, for some reason, can't do it. And so all he says for a clip of the video is penguin. Peng-wing. And it just is so funny to watch because of the fact that it just, every single time he says it, it just gets further and further from penguin. So that's what I always think about. I know, I think of the weirdest things, guys. What can I say? So this is the ice path that we have here on the island. Be careful not to fall into the broken up pieces of ice. So if we go this way first, you'll see this is actually where all the penguins live. I believe, if I remember correctly, this is called the rookery? Penguin rookery. It's where penguins come to nest, to raise their babies, things like that. I believe that's the right term for it, but I cannot recall off the top of my head right now. But yeah, this is this area. Let's go ahead and explore that just a little bit here. If I can get across. There we go. So this part right here is supposed to be kind of an igloo. This is actually Chadwick's house. So let's go ahead and let's come back to that real quick. We'll come visit him here in a second. I just want to kind of show you guys this entire penguin area. It's very rocky, but I still wanted to have like the little bit of glacier area to it as well. And whoever came up with the idea of using these moss rocks as snow piles, you are a genius, because I never would have thought of that, and now I use them almost everywhere on this island because of the fact that A, it's a winter theme, and B, it's awesome. Even though it glows, it's not any different than any of the ice glacier items either. And so it really brings the Arctic feel to it. So that is the white moss rock. So let's go ahead and check out Chadwick's house. Well, hello and welcome to Chadwick's little home here. I wanted to create this as kind of a igloo of sorts for people to explore and see the inside of that. As you can see, he's crafting away, having a good time at it too. So this is all made out of ice, again wanting to reflect the outside of the igloo itself. On the interior, he's got a little place where he can do some cooking, and then of course a little hot tub, so that way if the cold gets a little too much for him, he's able to do that. So let's go ahead and say hi and see what he's crafting here. Alright, so let's keep exploring the island. Alright, let's continue on, guys. So back over here is actually where the hidden beach is. I didn't really feel the need to decorate this because it's just a blank beach. I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel motivated to decorate it. I didn't feel the need to because we had all these other items that were already there to just kind of support the area. And obviously, because of the fact that we are in Antarctica, there's not really any plant life. It's all rocky. There's bound to be some areas that are just kind of, flat, that are just like this. So I want to just kind of leave it. Alright, let's jump across here. Let's get the vaulting pole. Sometimes this can be a little tricky to get across here, but I believe I'm pretty sure I left you guys a vaulting pole so you would be able to hop around as well. Okay, so this next little area is actually the museum, but I turned it into a little research campsite. I saw this on another island. I believe it was like a jungle island or something where they used the museum as kind of a camp research location, and I wanted to do the same thing here. This group is actually researching the penguins, so that's why they're so close, but yet not a part of them at the same time. Okay, so if we go this direction, so we went up, originally if we head back this way, this is going to lead us back into the village, but if we head this direction, this is actually going to take us out to the surveyor's location. So for those that you don't know, the surveyors are individuals that will go out and check to make sure that check to see if there's better routes, that there's safer routes for people to kind of go out and do their research. And so that's what this campsite is supposed to be. It's supposed to be somebody who has taken a sled team. They have the dogs all camped out here. This is where they station, and they just kind of go to different areas, test the ice, which we don't have any more ice paths here, but they just kind of test the ice to make sure that it's safe for researchers to go out and explore. And up above is a cute little hot spring. This is part of the reason why that they camped out here, so that way they can stay out here longer, be able to take like a little bath in the hot spring, and come back to their tent and be warm. So we're going to head back to the village. Now, give us just a minute here. Again, as you guys come to visit, feel free to explore as much as you possibly want. There's really no part of this island that is really off limits. Yeah, there's some places where I've, blocked off just because of the fact that it's more for viewing purposes, but in all honesty, if you want to explore it, go for it. I did want to point that out in the back because of the fact that that is actually a ship. So if we open this up right here, just above me, so see where my house is? That is actually supposed to be an iceberg ship, and so what we're seeing is the front end of that ship. But we'll go ahead and explore that. So again, we'll go past the post office and the visitor center, and this is as actually coming into the village itself. So again, be careful, the thin ice, wouldn't want you to fall through and get wet. But right here we have Nook's Cranny. This is the main shopping store for people. So if you need to get produce, or you need to get some materials or anything, or furniture for your house, just like Nook's Cranny, this is what the purpose of this building is. Now, if we go to the left, this is the main shipping dock. So this dock is actually designed for ships that are a lot larger than the yachts that we have here, and it's designed for the ships that actually leave the island and go to other places of the world. The other ports and docks that we have are more designed for local, like fishing, local boaters, things like that, whereas this one is more designed for the international stuff. So we have all of these yachts over here. We have one that is getting ready to go out for fishing for the day, and then we have some barrels, some boxes that have come in for shipment for the island. But if we head up these stairs, we are now actually on board the big iceberg ship. So this ship is designed to cut through large chunks of ice without causing any damage to the ship itself. As you can see, we've got barrels. If we want to, we can lower the flag or raise it, depending on what we want to do. I just thought that was a really cute idea. I didn't know what else to do for the mask, so when I saw this in the Nook shop, I was just like, yes, I have to do that. So if we come up this direction, this is actually where the steering is for the ship itself. I kind of wanted to do a combination of like a pirate ship and a traditional modern iceberg ship. I believe that's what they're called. There might be an actual term for this ship. I cannot remember it. I just remember always calling it an iceberg ship. So, so if there is an actual term, feel free to share that with me. But I had a lot of fun with this part. So this, if we go this direction, this actually will lead us to the main cabin for the captain. But if we head this direction, we will actually come up to where the crew sleeps. I had a lot more fun decorating this and coming up with this idea that I probably should have. But yeah, this is where the crew of the ship sleep. Again, very much like a pirate ship a little bit, where they have all the beds that are situated here, and then you have all of the shipping materials and boxes that are just kind of tucked away in here, and just some clothes that are hanging out here. They're also going to ship some pictures there for some museums. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to create. Very, very basic in a way, but at the same time, it really feels like we are here with the crew of the ship in a way. So next we'll head upstairs. And this is where the main cabin is. So this is the captain's quarters. So normally if you come out through this door, oops, I didn't mean to actually go out. I walked a little too far. But hey, I'll show you. We'll get the legit feel. So if we were going to go see the captain, this is where we go. And this is actually the captain's office. So this is where the captain entertains people who come and visit or come to complain or do whatever they need to do, or whatever business they have with the captain. This is where they come. I did block off the side rooms because of the fact that I really couldn't think of any use for them. One idea that I did have was making the kitchen. Another idea I had was like a bathroom, but I was like, you know what? No, let's just keep it as it is. And it made decorating this a lot easier, and I didn't really stress about it as much as I thought I would. But anyway, so this is the captain's main quarters. If we go out back here, this is actually going to be the back deck. So this is below, so if we were imagining this and where this was located on the ship, this would actually be below where the wheel is that I was spinning around. And this is the captain's private deck. So this is where he would come out to eat or just enjoy or enjoy the view or whatever the captain wanted to do back here. This is his private deck to enjoy at his leisure. Okay, and then the last part that I want to show you is the captain's actual sleeping quarters. So here it is, guys. I didn't really go above and beyond with decorating this because I figured that the captain's quarters wouldn't really be anything too fancy. I did use the nicer items for this, probably nicer than a captain's quarters really would be, and that's where I come up with like the pirate side of it as well. Every time that I kind of thought about like how I would decorate this or design this, I kept thinking of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So that's where I pulled a lot of my inspiration from, because like whenever you're in the captain's quarters, it always looks nicer. It always just gives a nicer feel and stuff. So how come you're not on, buddy? You're supposed to be guarding. Come on, what's going on here? But yeah, this is the captain's quarters for the ship. All right, so we're going to continue on with the rest of the island. I showed you the ship. Now we're actually going to go more into the village itself. So this is where majority of my villagers live, as if to showcase that they are living in a base. Now, if you come to visit, just be careful of this area. This is the hazard and waste area. So this is where they have all their toxic materials, and it's just kind of blocked off a little bit here to make sure that people don't wander in there unnecessary. So this is like stuff that they would need to maintain, say, generators or their or just whatever they needed that would be just, yeah. I'm trying to think of what I would how I would describe this area, but I'm blanking, guys. I'm sorry. So yep, there's Nook's Cranny, and this leads right into the residential services. So actually back behind residential services, it's hard to get to, but you can kind of see all of the tanks back there. So if I just kind of pull this up right now, you see all those tanks back there. That is supposed to be kind of what runs the city a little bit. So that's all like steam or coal burning materials, things like that. Anything that they would need to make sure that this town did not lose power. They are moving away from that and going to solar and wind because, you know, there's just a lot of that kind of happen on the on Antarctica. So, oh, hello. I didn't realize you were here today. Okay, so if we continue down this way, oh, and there's even more of those tanks over here just to kind of help support the villagers. So if we come down here, there's this little woodshed. Push the snowball out of the way. But here's this little woodshed that is kind of in support of the Nook's Cranny over there. So if people who actually need wood for their wood burning fireplaces, they would actually come purchase the wood from Nook's and then get it out of this storage. They would have to ship that wood in because there are no trees that grow here. And over here is Abel's Sisters, so this is where people would come to get their cold weather gear. As you can see, they have a shipment that came in recently, and they're in the process of getting that material back into the shop here. Down this direction is the actual greenhouse here. I'll show you guys that here in a second. I want to show this other fishing dock here. So this is where a lot of the fishermen come in and out to ship the fish away from the island. So that's what this is. The reason why this is a little bit different than the other one is the other one was more like a local one or a privately owned dock and a privately owned fish mart, whereas this one is more publicly owned. So this is more for if we're going to ship the item or ship these fish internationally or to another part of the island, whatever the case may be. This is more of what this one is designed to do. So getting back over here is our greenhouse here. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to a time when Whitney is available. So here is our little greenhouse slash plant shop. This is run by Whitney here. Basically, the design idea of this is that she manages the greenhouse, which I will show you shortly after we finish up checking out Whitney's home here. But basically what she does is take care of all the plants that are here, as well as run this little shop. So if people want to have some plants for their homes just to make it feel brighter and whatnot, she handles all of that. But this was a little setup that I created in Happy Home Paradise. I pulled some inspiration from a home that I saw on Pinterest. and just had some fun with it. Obviously, what you're able to do in Happy Home Paradise versus these island homes, there's a little bit more flexibility as far as the size of the home and what you're able to do. But again, just had a lot of fun with this and working with the space and trying to figure out how everything is going to work together. So let's say hi to Whitney real quick. Whoop, turning on and off her lights. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed our little greenhouse. We're going to actually go to the big greenhouse now. So let's go check that out. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun creating her interior. It was just a lot of fun. And if you guys sneak back over here, this is the actual entrance to the actual greenhouse. So this is where they would raise plants, produce, things like that to be able to have available instead of waiting for shipments to come in or waiting for produce to go bad or anything. This is how they support this base with fresh produce and food for the villagers. If we head up this direction, this is where more villagers live. This first house is actually owned by Raymond, and he is actually the village doctor. So let's go ahead and check out his home. So guys, welcome to the clinic of Esperanza. So this was actually inspired by the, oh my goodness, he's back there sleeping. This was inspired by Happy Home Paradise. I kind of like went back and forth on what type of homes I wanted on this island. And one of the things that I came up with was a little clinic. I was like, why not? Why wouldn't they have a clinic on here? They need to be able to treat people, like do minor treatments and stuff like that for people that are out in the research field and they get injured. They need to be able to treat those minor wounds here and then eventually send them to larger hospitals if their injuries or their situation is much larger. And Raymond kind of is the island doctor, obviously, because of the fact that there is nobody here. He is just kind of sleeping and dazed off a little bit. He's been putting in some long hours. He really has. So up here in front is his little waiting room. So if he's working with or he's seeing more than one patient in a day, or somebody came in with somebody who needed to see Raymond, they can sit here, grab a magazine, and wait patiently. Over here is the medicine cabinet, so this is where he's going to give prescriptions to. So he's kind of like a combination of a little clinic and pharmacy at the same time, so he administers all of that. Back here is his office, which we kind of saw before. This is where he does a lot of his inventory and keeps the records of all of the patients. And then, of course, if somebody comes in and they need to use a medical bed, it's right over here. So let's go ahead and wake up Raymond here. He was probably up late last night doing some research and stuff. I mean, look at this. Look at this. He pulls out a book and begins doing some more research. This is a dedicated doctor for the island, you guys. We picked a good one for that. All right. So next we actually have Mitzi. She just moved in. This is actually an idea that I got from Matilda. Again, if you guys don't know who she is, you should totally check her out on Instagram. She has the most incredible island ideas. So check her out. I have toured a lot of her islands, and I am inspired every single time. And she actually created this idea on one of her islands, and I thought it was the most genius thing ever. Ever, guys. It's remarkable. Like, you have this fully decorated without being fully decorated. Somebody moving in, genius idea. But let's go ahead and see Mitzi's house. So, welcome to Mitzi's house. So, Mitzi is our newest resident here on the island. As you guys can see from the decorations outside and inside here, she is in the process of moving in. Obviously, she's making some food for herself, but yeah. As I mentioned before, I got this idea from my friend Matilda. She came up with this brilliant idea for decorating a villager's home where they are just having a whole bunch of boxes around, having a whole bunch of stuff just kind of piled around and stuff like that. And just this person just in the process of moving into their new home. But yeah, this was probably one of my faster my faster home builds, just because of the fact that I was like, okay, let's just make this look like it's a complete mess. Obviously, she started unpacking her books already. She's got her bed out. The kitchen area was already in because of the fact that, you know, houses come with kitchens. So, but yeah, Mitzi is kind of going to be the teacher of the island, so she moved down here to start a school and everything for this base, and that's why she's got so many books, why she's got some grading papers and stuff. So yeah, I again had a lot of fun with this build just because of the fact that I could just place things around, and it was a very, very easy build. The only difficult part was just like layering stuff. Really, that was really the difficult part. Obviously, she doesn't have anything hanging up on the walls or anything yet. Those are still in boxes, but maybe next time, guys. Maybe next time. So let's keep going. So Mitzi here she kind of has a little bit of a role. She came on as a teacher for the students that actually live on the island. So I thought about swapping her moving in with Flurry back there, but then decided, you know what? This works out perfectly. She can be the person that's moving in, and like, they just hired her to be the teacher of the area. Maybe she teaches the classes in residential services until they can find a location for her to have an actual school. Next we have Flurry. This is just basically a villager home with not really a purpose or anything like that. I just kind of created her home just to be kind of a supporting role. So let's see her house. So welcome to Flurry's home. I just wanted to make her home be kind of simple, have just some simple furniture, because I mean, when you're moving down here, you're not going to really have a lot of things that are fancy. She does offer piano lessons and music lessons for those that wish to have it. But this island, or this home design, was actually inspired by another island that I toured a while ago. It may have been, was it Andrews Island? I cannot remember. I apologize for that. But anyway, this room structure was inspired by somebody else. They just happened to do it in the reverse, where they had kind of the kitchen in the back, and then they had the the bedroom kind of up front there. I didn't want the bedroom up front, so that's where I created this little nook to play piano. So this is Flurry's little home. I think it is so cute and fits her personality very well. It's got a combination of a lot of different feels to it. But at the same time, it's just super cozy, and I think she really enjoys living here. So let's say hi to her real quick. She's so cute. I wasn't really sure that I was going to add her to the island or not, but decided to do it just because of the fact that she is just a cutie and she would definitely fit very well in an Arctic theme. So this is Flurry's home. Hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, let's continue on now. So if we follow this path back here, we're starting to get a little bit away from the village. Things are kind of, I designed it to be more of the village just kind of built around the landscape of the island or the area itself. So you see we have these cliffs, we have these rocks, things like that. And I really wanted it to be more like I landscaped and then I fit everything in. So that's the feel of it. So if we go up here to this level, I'm first going to show you Ione. Now, she does have a little bit of a purpose here. Ione is supposed to be a researcher of the stars and constellations that are found when you're in Antarctica. So her purpose is to study those stars, study those constellations. So let's check out her home. Alright, so this is Ione's home. I love decorating Ione's home so much. Whether it was on this island or previous islands, she is just a cutie pie, and I have so much fun decorating her villager home. But as I mentioned, she kind of does research of the stars and things like that. So she's got her camera to keep track of everything that is happening with the stars and constellations, and then she uploads it onto her computer here. She has some research books that she has. Not your typical like research home, but at the same time she comes down here to enjoy what the Arctic area has to offer. She's got a little DIY bench here, so that way if she needs to do any crafting she can, and then her bed is just back here in this little nook here. Again, I just love her house and how this all turned out. I always seem to do a very similar construction for her every single time, and that's just because of the fact that I absolutely love this layout design for a home, and I always love doing it for Ione specifically. Ione, if you guys do not know, is in my top 5 favorite villagers. Actually, I think she's up there with Maple. Maple is my, like, she for a long time was my number 1 villager. I loved her. I still do love her. And I think Ione is constantly competing with Maple for that top spot. Both of them are just so adorable and such sweethearts. Ione being more of a spunky individual, whereas Maple, I feel, has more of that kind of old soul type feel. That's the vibe that I get from her. So, but yeah, both of those villagers are so sweet, and I always have to have one or the other on my island just because of the fact that they are both so amazing. So, I hope you guys find inspiration from Ione's home here. Let's continue on with the island tour. Alright, that's Ione's home. And if we go back behind her home, we have this incredible view of this mountain. This mountain was such a challenge to create. It was a lot of fun, but very challenging due to the fact that I really wanted it to be this view for people to see and to experience. I've seen a lot of content creators and tours where people have these far off views like this, and I wanted to try this. I really, really, really wanted to try this. And so this is what I really came up with. I am super proud of this. It was a challenge because of how picky I am with designing things on my island. Like it wasn't until I started doing Animal Crossing that I realized how much a perfectionist I am. And you can kind of see it as things are kind of overlapping to kind of give it more of a smooth flow and finish to the build. But I have never been more proud of a build than I have been of this one. This is probably to date one of my favorite builds, one of my most challenging builds, and one of the ones that I am the most proud of. So I hope you guys enjoy the view as much as I do. Now if we go down in this direction, this is where you can do a little ice fishing. So I created this little shack in this area for people to kind of come down and do their own little fishing. Again, guys, be careful. Don't want you to fall into the icy waters. But yeah, again, this is a more up-close version view of the mountain itself. I personally like the far away view, but again, just another great view for you guys. If we head this direction, this is actually a construction area. So right here, they're working on putting in the wind turbines and the solar panels, so that way they're using more renewable energies to support the power of this village, or village base, whatever you want to call it. And back over here again is another view that you can see. Gives you kind of that mountain valley in the distance kind of thing. Again, an amazing build, a fun build that I did on this island. I know the butterflies kind of throw it off just a little bit. Okay, so this next part you will need the vaulting pole. So we're just gonna kind of hop around here. So this spot is owned by Fang. He is actually the lighthouse keeper. So as ships are coming in, if we look down over here real quick, this is the dock area that I mentioned before that leads to the big ship. So his area is, or his little spot is to help direct those ships as they're coming into the docking area, just to kind of let them know, hey, we're right here. Don't go any further, otherwise you might crash into the mountain. So let's go see Fang in his home. Well, guys, this is Fang's home. Oh, look at this. Raymond's here. Oh, that is so fun. So Fang is the lighthouse keeper of the island. His house is made out of stone, as you guys can kind of see here. I feel like his house is one of the original homes on the island. Doesn't have the kind of insulation that we see, say, on the clinic or any of the other island or any of the other homes found on the island. But yeah, this was actually a lot of fun. I really did enjoy making this. I had a vision for his home here. I wanted it to be very cozy, but yet at the same time very much a place where someone of, like, I always think of Fang as being like an older villager, kind of like what's his name? Gonzo. There we go. And so whenever I envisioned his home, it would be something very similar to this, where he's got books, he's got a wood-burning stove here, he's got his bed on the other side, just all sorts of things that just kind of stuck out to me of being a home for an older bachelor. But yeah, this was his little home. I, again, had a lot of fun designing this and putting it all together. So I hope you guys found inspiration from his home. Let's continue on with exploring the island. All right, guys. And I just want to kind of come up this direction to show you the lighthouse here. Obviously, it's off as we are starting the day and the sun is rising. And if you just look way in the back there, just to kind of give you an idea of where everything's at, that is that surveyor research team. That's their campsite. So you can kind of see them in the distance there. So one of the last places that I want to show you is kind of the recreational campsite area. So again, you're going to need your vaulting pole. So we're going to jump over here and head in between the two mountains here. So this is a little mountain valley. Again, Butterfly, you're not exactly helping with the aesthetic here. But yes, this is a little recreational fishing campsite that I created just as something fun, you know, just like a little hidden secret on the island here. So yeah, guys, I hope you really enjoyed coming and checking out Esperanza. This island really challenged me, really pushed me beyond my comfort zone and my comfort levels, and I have never been more proud of an island build than I have on this one. And it's just because of the fact that even though it took me longer than I anticipated, it was still very rewarding to work through all of the builds, all of the things that you now see on this island. So I hope you guys enjoyed this island tour of Esperanza. This is, like I said, my favorite view of the island. I hope you guys find this to be one of your favorites, but either way, I'd love to know what part of this island inspired you? What part of this island did you like the best? Leave in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on this island tour with me. It means a lot. My next island is going to be Hobbiton. I'm creating it after the Shire from the Lord of the Rings series. This will also be my introduction into live streaming, so I hope you guys are able to join me for that. My first live stream is going to be a Q&A, so any questions that you have, bring those to the live stream, and I would be happy to answer them. But yeah, this wraps up my tour of Esperanza. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wherever you guys are in this amazing world, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep on being inspirational, and until next time, guys, bye-bye.